Well, everyone, it's time for us to go ahead and take a look at the iPhone 12 and compare it against the Google Pixel 7 and see which specific phone is the better one for you. Now, if you want to pick up either one of these devices, the links will be down in the description. You can get them from there. You can also support the channel at the same time. Now, what's crazy is the iPhone 12 came out in 2020, but they're still being sold brand new at the same price tag right now, which is so crazy. So you can walk into the Apple Store, buy this phone for $599. You can walk inside of or the Google Store or go online and buy this phone for $599, which is pretty wild. Now on the front, the iPhone 12 has a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED display, and it's an overall really good screen. I think it's pretty decent. It's not really that far off from the iPhone 14. It's a 60 hertz display, but it still looks fairly good. And for a 2-year-old phone, I think it doesn't, it hasn't aged that bad considering that the iPhone 14s look almost identical to this phone. So that's a big thing to keep in mind. And you can buy this thing in the used market as well for not cheap, but for substantially cheaper than what it is available in the brand new market. On the Google Pixel 7, this phone has a 6.3-inch AMOLED display. Now, a big thing to keep in mind here, this phone is a brand new device. So you are getting a little bit of a newer design, I would say, than the iPhone 12. The 12 has a notch. This one does not have a notch. It has the hole punch display. It also has a fingerprint sensor in the display. It's also a 90 hertz panel as well, which is so nice. So things refresh a little bit smoother, which is really, really nice. So that it's a pretty big difference, I would say, going from 60 to 90. So that's probably one thing to keep in mind. But I'll still say the iPhone 12 still looks fairly modern considering the iPhone 14s. Now for the rest of the design, you can kind of see as well, kind of similar setup, but not really. They're both like kind of flat, but not. The iPhone 12 is completely flat, but the Pixel 7 is like kind of flat, but not fully curved. It's kind of interesting. You do have a massive camera bump on the Pixel 7, so probably keep that in mind. You are getting SIM card trace on both phones, though, which is nice. They're almost like on the same spot as well, if I kind of put them up a little bit. So that is really nice. They're both flip-flop, though, so one is right there, the other one is right there. The volume button's on the other side of the Pixel 7. On the bottom, the iPhone 12 has the Lightning port. The Pixel 7 has a USB Type-C port, which is really, really nice. And on the back, we are basically getting a similar styling but different type of setup. So the cameras, as you can see, the Pixel 7, the cameras are kind of aligned throughout, which is nice, with the flash all the way at the end, which was a very interesting surprise. On the iPhone 12, you can see we have the dual cameras on top of each other with the flash right next to it. So both of them are wide and ultra-wide lens, which is really nice. I love having an ultra-wide camera. And they're both kind of similar in styling too, which is kind of interesting. They both have the glass that goes all the way throughout. Now, these are both the white colors of both of them. So you can kind of see that the white on the iPhone 12 is a little bit more like, I don't know if pinkish is the right word, but it's like a little bit more like, it has like a hue to it. The Pixel 7 is completely white, which I actually kind of like this styling more than this styling. Now, some other things to keep in mind, both have wireless charging. The iPhone 12 has the MagSafe capability here, but the big thing to keep in mind is the Pixel 7 does have reverse wireless charging, which is so nice. That is one of my favorite things about the Pixel 7 that the iPhone 12 does not have. So that is a pretty big thing to keep in mind. But in terms of that kind of covers it up. There's not really like super crazy amounts of differences, but I do like having USB-C and I like having reverse wireless charging. So that's kind of some ways that I favor the Pixel 7 in some ways. Now, in terms of software and longevity, basically how long both these phones are going to last, I think that both these phones are probably going to be lasting around the same time. I don't know if one phone is going to like outlandishly outlast the other one, but if I had a guess, I would probably say quite comfortably that the iPhone 12 and the Pixel 7 are going to be lasting for probably the same amount of time. So take it as you will. The iPhone 12, if they both came out the same year, then it'd be different. But because the iPhone 12 has been out for a few years now, I think this one and the Pixel 7, probably in the next like 4 years, that's probably when both these phones are going to be done. So let's go do a speed comparison right now between both of them. The iPhone 12 has at Apple a 14 body chip inside of it with 4 gigabytes of RAM, but the Pixel 7 has that Google Tensor G2 chipset inside of it with 8 gigabytes of RAM. So let's go see which one's the fastest one between both. Okay, there we go. All the apps are clear in the background, so let's get into it. Phone calls, 3, 2, 1. Okay, took a long time on the Pixel 7, I don't know why. Let's go and get into cameras, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Now let's go and take a photo, 3, 2, 1. Now this one is on night mode, so keep that in mind. So it is nice that this one detected night mode and this one did not. Let's go and hop out of here. Let's go and get into their Photos app, 3, 2, 1. Very, very similar performance, not that big of a deal there. Let's go and hop out of here. We have some of these third-party applications we can go and open up. So let's do Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. And it does kind of look like the Pixel 7 is slightly faster than the iPhone 12 on this specific application. Again, this is not a application that can tell too much, but still within the loading speeds. But the iPhone 12 was able to load into it eventually faster there, which is very surprising. So let's go and hop out of this one. Let's go get into the next one, which is Snapchat 321. Again, but we were logged in here, so keep that in mind, but still was faster on the Pixel 7. Let's go and get into Netflix 321. Pixel 7 is faster, followed by the iPhone 12. A little bit of time. Thank you, 321. And the Pixel 7 again is a faster one. The iPhone 12 a little bit behind, so nothing crazy, but a little bit of a difference. Let's go get into Snake versus Blocks. 3, 2, 1. And you can see again the iPhone 12 is the faster one by a little bit. The Pixel 7 a little bit behind. Hopping out of here, let's do Stack. 3, 2, 1. Not really too sure which one is the faster one there. Kind of yawning right now. Facebook 3, 2, 1. I think we're logged in here, so we are logged in here, so it's going to be a little bit of difference. Twitter 3, 2, 1. iPhone 12 I think was the faster one. I kind of hopped out of it a little bit faster. So Temple Run 1, 3, 2, 1. And of course we're in the middle of a game here, but it did look like it loaded up faster overall on the Pixel 7 than on the iPhone 12. So in terms of that, I mean, we could try Genshin Impact. I don't even know if I have it here. Oh, I do. 3, 2, 1. So I've done lots of gaming on the iPhone 12 and a little bit of gaming since I've had the Pixel 7 since I bought it. I think both phones do pretty well. I don't think there's like a clear winner, but I do like having that 90 hertz screen on the Pixel 7 because it is kind of optimized for some games on Android, which is nice. And you can see right here the iPhone 12 was faster as well. So I think when it comes down to it, quite potentially the iPhone 12 kind of glitched there too. I think the iPhone 12 is a very fast phone, and I think the Pixel 7 is very close. I don't know if there's one that's like the clear winner here. Both of them were kind of flip-flopping, so take it as you will, but I wouldn't go from one phone to the other just based off the performance alone. Now, in terms of the camera setup, both of them have dual camera setups on the back, which is beautiful. I love having the wide and ultra-wide camera. Both of them can do 4K 60 on the front and the back, which is so nice. Now, with the iPhone 12 that came out in 2020, this camera is surprisingly still pretty decent, but I will say for the last year I've been doing a camera comparison every once in a while with this phone, and it hasn't really been aging that gracefully. I'll say, like, it's still pretty good, but the jump from the iPhone 12 to the 13 was actually quite a bit of a jump if you ask me. Now you have 5x zoom, you can zoom in, you have 0.5x zoom zooming out, so I think that's a pretty decent type of zooming in capability for a phone that doesn't even have a telephoto lens. Now you have standard video mode, slow-mo mode, panorama mode, but it's not really as crazy many features as like the latest iPhones. But it also doesn't have as many crazy features, which they're not even crazy as compared to the Pixel 7. So what the Pixel 7 was very interesting is this type of phone, you are actually getting a few more features than the iPhone 12. So you're getting the ability of zooming in 8x over the 5x on the iPhone 12, but you do lose 0.2x zooming out, ultra wide. So it's not as good of an ultra wide camera as the iPhone 12, but you are zooming in a little bit more. You have portrait mode, you have this motion mode as well, which is cool, but you also have this cinematic mode, which is really nice. So, the latest iPhones have it. The iPhone 12 was the last iPhone to not have it, and this Pixel 7 does actually have it, which is so cool. So I would probably tell you the Pixel 7's camera is very good, and I will say it's probably a better camera than the iPhone 12, to be honest, because the iPhone 12's camera was a little bit too grainy the last time I checked it out. But to kind of sum up this comparison, I'll probably tell you both these phones are great. I will say the Pixel 7 for $599 for a brand new device that has just came out is actually very interesting, and I do think the future of the Pixel 7 looks better than the iPhone 12's. The iPhone 12 is only going to get slower. It's only going to get to more blow, like a little bit less like it's going to get more buggier and things like that. The Pixel 7, I feel like Google's really like what they did with the Pixel 6 and improved that lifespan and made it a much better phone throughout the last year. I think they're going to do the same thing with the Pixel 7. But I do think the iPhone 12, if you have it, it's a very good phone, still surprisingly. Like, it still holds up very, very well. I just think the Pixel 7 might be the better value per dollar just because it's a newer one. But I still think the iPhone 12 is pretty good too. So that kind of covers it up here. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.